Without warning, the blows ceased. The hand gripping Strat's hair spasmed and released him. When he was finally able to draw a shallow breath, clearing his spinning head and blurred vision, he noticed something odd, a sword protruding through the chest of the man standing over him before being yanked free. The second attacker lay dead as well, blood pooling from a wound where the same blade had pierced his chest. Strat felt no remorse for the corpses. No relief. No satisfaction in vengeance. He was hollow. His entire world was the excruciating pain that coursed through every nerve from the beating. He felt as though he might never feel again. The only thing keeping him from collapsing into oblivion was the agony itself. "Lie still, youngling," Faceless warned. Strat tried to curl into a ball, but abandoned the attempt as white-hot pain lanced through his body. He didn't remember falling, but he was on his side, bile and blood leaking from his mouth with each ragged breath. Beside him lay one of his assailants, eyes glazed and lifeless. Strat felt nothing. His only concern was for the man who had intervened. With trembling fingers, he reached toward the pocket that held the remnants of his apple, the julep. For days he had scavenged scraps, but this fruit had been his one triumph, stolen from a vendor in Omganis. He had clung to the thought of eating it once the nightmare was over. But when his hand came out slick with pulp and juice, he groaned. His precious apple was destroyed. Rolling onto his back, he stared up at the stars, awaiting death. His battered body could not last long. Yet his final lament was not his suffering, nor even his life. It was the loss of that perfect julep, striped red and gold, unblemished, crisp, and sweet beyond words. He regretted never tasting it more than he regretted dying. Funny, Strat thought. I expected death to be worse. But all I must do is wait. Why do grown-ups fear this so much? It's easier than living. You've suffered a punctured lung, the man beside him said. We'll need to address this before we can move you. Panic surged like a smith's hammer striking iron. Move him? He would never trust a man again, not after tonight. Better to die here in the alley than endure more. Stop, Strat whispered, tears streaking through the grime on his face. Let me die. Don't waste your time. I don't want to live. What kind of man would I be if I let you die after saving you? The stranger asked. What would be said of me if I left a child to perish in the muck of the worst seaport in the world? You'd be the man who let a boy die when he asked it of you, Strat rasped, blood trickling down his cheek to his ear. Please, leave me. Allow me this wish. Would I then not be like King Culbheart? The man countered. That despot longs for seedy Acre's destruction. He claims no soul here is worth saving. If I let you die, would I not prove him right? I don't care what the king believes, Strat whispered. I just want to die in peace. Brithen and Clint, watching from nearby, exchanged troubled glances. Faceless' tone was not the cold remorselessness they expected, but almost fatherly. You're too intelligent to abandon, youngling, Faceless said gently. Your words are far older than your years. I can't imagine your pain, but this night need not define your end. The pain can become your strength. Strat coughed violently, blood spraying across the cobbles. His scream of agony echoed into the night. I can heal you enough to move you, Faceless urged. But I need your permission. Do you understand? Strat hesitated, then choked out, Save me. With practiced efficiency, Faceless drew the rib away from Strat's lung. A flood of blood and fluid gushed from the boy's mouth. Coughing, choking, he turned his head to keep from drowning. Then suddenly he could breathe. Sweet air filled his chest in great gulps. Just minutes ago he had begged for death. Now shame and confusion washed over him. His mother would be disappointed in his cowardice. Do not give in to death's lies, Faceless told him. She tempts with false promises. This is not your time. Strat focused on the man. He wore black from head to boots, his face covered save for his eyes. The garb was unlike anything Strat had ever seen. Practical, intimidating, utterly foreign. Who are you? Strat croaked. Can you not guess? Faceless asked. Realization dawned. Strat's eyes widened. You're Faceless. Fear surged. He scrambled backward toward the fence he had once tried to escape through. The most feared assassin in the world had saved him, and that was worse than death. I am not here under contract, Faceless said calmly. Why would I save you only to harm you? You'd heal me to torture me, Strat shot back. Faceless chuckled darkly. I don't need magic to prolong a life, and I wouldn't waste coin on it. Here. He tossed Strat a julep. Eat before your stomach announces us to the whole city. Strat caught it instinctively, biting into the flesh. Juice ran down his chin, stinging the cuts in his mouth, but the sweetness was everything he had longed for. You want something for this, he said after a moment. You're not known for generosity. Wise beyond your years, Faceless replied, tossing him a second apple. But eat this one slowly. Your stomach isn't ready. Strat scowled but obeyed. For the first time in days, warmth filled his belly. You're sharp, Faceless continued. You've survived the streets when others fell. You see more than you know. Do not waste this. Tears returned, shaking him with silent sobs. He wanted Faceless gone. He wanted to mourn his lost childhood in peace. But the assassin's voice cut through the despair. Tears will not return what was taken. Use them to grow. Do not let this night shape your future. Become more than your father, more than these men, more than this city. I'll never trust a man again, Strat said bitterly. Every adult in Joran preys on children. And women? Faceless asked. They've never harmed me, Strat said cautiously. Not yet. They can be as dangerous as men. But differently. Strat frowned. This was not the Faceless of rumors, no monster's voice, but a teacher's. He was testing him, guiding him. Strat realized with dread. He was already being trained. And there was no escape. You're articulate. Strong, Faceless said. Others would have broken. You have not. That is why I chose you. Strat wiped his tears, voice shaking. Then tell me the truth. Why me? Faceless' eyes gleamed behind the mask. Because of the magic in your blood. Because you are different. You are the bloom of a poisoned seed, and through you I will shape the world. But aloud he only said, You can always walk away.